Eric, can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you. What's going on?
Welcome to the show, brother. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm dealing with a bug, but I'm doing very good today.
Yeah,
How
you're
about
feeling
you,
better,
man?
right? I saw your
Huh?
tweet. You're feeling better?
Very, very good. Yesterday I could not get out of my bed. Like there was no way I couldn't even walk.
Damn. You know
But
what you
today
had?
I have no clue. I have no clue. I started getting like symptoms Saturday night, and I woke up like fuzzy on Sunday. Took some methylene blue, and
Yeah.
crashed the whole day. I was out in the sun for like 3 hours trying to see if that could help a little bit, and didn't sleep at all. But we're here.
I mean,
Everything's
that's the same protocol I'm on right now. I'm just going outside every day, getting
yeah,
some sunlight grounding, and taking so much methylene blue because I'm hanging out with Vance for a month.
yeah. I've been also eating fruit like I've never eaten before, which I think is going to help a lot as well. But I've just been like craving it a lot.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
we've been eating a lot of fruit here, and we have a personal chef out in the crib, Noah Ryan, uh,
yeah.
chefing it up for us. What up?
Schmuffaho.
Shvafa.
How are you, Vance?
I'm looking. This is not a good angle, dude. Not a
You
good.
look good.
Huh? I
You
had
look
egg.
very good.
Don't blame me. What's up, bud? Where are you at?
Mexico,
Where?
Mexico City.
Oh, you're far, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn it. All right, whatever.
yeah,
All right, bud. I just want to say what's up.
yeah. Thank you. How
I
you
see
guys
you.
doing?
Dude, you're glowing, by the way. Your
Yeah,
skin is amazing.
it's his tallow.
Yeah, it's the methylene blue towel.
Yeah, it's kind of it has been literally the only product that's worked on me with my skin in
Dude,
my
it's
whole
crazy.
life. Yeah, I've
I
always had like dry skin,
mhm.
and I developed like some type of skin rash like 4 years ago on my arms and back, and the only only thing that's worked against it has been his tallow, and I've used so many other things, and
Yeah, I
it's
was gonna
the
say
only
too,
thing I
like
trust.
I've used so many tallow brands, probably like 5 tallow brands, and Vance's has been the biggest needle mover for me in terms of skin health, and I know that it's worked well for a lot of people too. I
Yeah,
know someone who has a crazy transformation, Nolan, his before and
mhm,
after for the
yeah,
methylene blue is actually crazy. I'm rubbing
crazy.
it generously on myself in Mexico here just because I'm getting way more sun than I
Hmm.
normally do up in the Northeast. But
Yeah,
yo, the methylene moo, it is a game changer. I love that stuff.
it's crazy. Is it really humid out there right now?
Yeah, it's humid, but I really like this climate.
Mhm.
I just love like tropical humidity and
Yeah.
heat.
Is it your first time there?
Now I've been to Mexico before. I was actually in Tulum 2 years ago. I was
Yeah.
only here for a few days though. I was staying at a beach hotel. But this Airbnb is super nice. We're staying in an area that was just newly developed. I think these places were made like a few months ago. So
Yeah.
it's a really, really nice place. But yeah, Tulum is a blast.
Love to see you guys are enjoying yourselves and you're eating ceviche all day. I already saw.
Yeah. Probably eating like 10 pounds of ceviche in like 7 days.
Yeah. So let's get started, man. I want to know who you are. I want to know your story, where you come from, but mostly like what got you to where you are today.
Yeah, so it's a pretty simple story. I was just a regular college kid a few years ago in a fraternity doing regular college kid stuff. I was drinking 5 days a week. Uh, Pretty much just living an unhealthy lifestyle, studying under blue light for hours. And then when I wasn't studying, I was just drinking with my friends. Um, but I was talking to Noah earlier actually about this. A lot of us in the health space come from a similar spot of not enjoying where we're at and having that big pivot moment where you're like, hey, I want to take control of my health, take control of my life. And yeah, it really leads you down like that rabbit hole of health. So I followed a similar route to that in college. I was just so down bad. I just really didn't like where I was.
Yeah.
And COVID hit, and actually, COVID was the biggest pivotal moment in my life because it forced me to go home and really sit with my thoughts and kind of make me realize like what do I actually want to do with my life. I went straight from drinking 5 days a week to just being home and having nothing else to do but either do nothing or study and learn something. So when COVID happened during college, that's when I kind of got into the whole holistic health biohacking sphere. I was taking a shit ton of supplements at the time, really just experimenting with stuff that could help improve my testosterone levels. So I was trying like Shilajit, ashwagandha, tonkat, maca, all of the above, and I was taking it all at once at some point. And looking back, it's definitely not like the best way to go about it. But yeah, that experience kind of led me down the rabbit hole of Shilajit, which is the primary supplement that we're focused on now with base supplements. Shilajit actually is one of the supplements that I found the biggest results with. So I actually ended up being an affiliate for a different Shilajit company at the time. And I was so good at talking about the benefits of it to my friends. And I'd put probably like 20 to 30 of my close friends onto Shilajit. And I was like, shit, I should start a company when I graduate college. So
Yeah.
this was about a year and a half before I graduated. Um, but yeah, the idea of having a Shilajit company was pretty much always in my head for the past like 3 years. And I didn't start it until I actually graduated. So I got a job straight out of college, like a fake job, because I didn't want to like tie myself down to like an actual career yet, because I knew I wanted to do the more entrepreneurial type route. So I worked as a personal trainer for a year. Alongside that job, I started growing base Shilajit. And then when my income from the Shilajit company exceeded my income from my day job is when I quit and I went all in. And this year has been crazy in terms of growth.
Mhm.
And one of the biggest things that changed my life actually is Twitter. So I'm super grateful for Twitter. It brought me close to a lot of the guys that I call some of my best friends now who I'm here in Mexico with. But yeah, it's been a crazy journey the past 3 years.
Did you get introduced into like the holistic space through Twitter?
No, I didn't. I actually didn't get introduced to Twitter until like I think December of
Hmm.
last year. Um, Noah actually hit me up on the side. Uh,
Oh,
I had no idea that health Twitter even existed, and Noah hit me up on the side, and I got on a call with him, and I was talking to him about the Shilajit company that I was growing. He's like, "Yeah, you should hop on Twitter." So I hopped on Twitter. I fell in love with the community, and yeah, that's where we are today now.
love it. What about your body transformation? I've seen a couple of videos on it, threads. I love it. It's very inspiring too.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that. Why did you get started? Oh, I
Sorry, I think
think
you
I
cut
lost
out.
you there, Eric. Can you hear me? There we go.
Yeah.
Did you hear me?
No, I heard the question though. You were just asking like how I got started in like my body
Through there,
transformation.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so I at the beginning of that journey, I was actually significantly nerfed because I was eating a full vegan diet. And at the time, that's what I thought true health was. But obviously,
Why,
looking,
by the way? Sorry.
I mean, it's all the vegan propaganda out there that says like meat is a carcinogen. They always make the analogy. It's like the strongest animals in the world eat plants, so why is it different for humans? But obviously, when you look into it, it is different because we're not the same as a lot of
The
these
gorilla.
animals that thrive off of just plant foods. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I fell for the vegan propaganda. I actually ate vegan for a full year. And looking back at what my body looked like during that period of my life, I really realized it's like, wow, I was severely malnourished, not gaining weight at all, obvious protein deficiency,
Hmm.
nutrient deficiencies, likely due to like high phytic acid content and like oxalates in my diet. Uh,
Anything mental?
when I look back at it, honestly, there's not really much uh, that I could think back of that was like a mental hindrance to me. But
Hmm.
looking back at photos, like there's definitely a physical hindrance.
Of course.
There's one post that I posted on Twitter. It was a picture of me when I was vegan in 2019, and my thighs are legitimately smaller than my calves. Like that's how protein deficient I was. So there was like not a lick of muscle in my body, and I was still working out like probably 5 6 days a week at the time. But obviously, when you're in that like protein deficient, mineral deficient, micronutrient deficient diet for a year straight, your body is gonna feel the impacts of that. So yeah, that was the start of what looks to be like my craziest transformation on Twitter. And yeah, when I graduated college, by then I was fully animal based diet pilled. So I was eating a lot of steak, a lot of eggs. I was on the
Mhm.
raw liver train. Um, And obviously, that's a type of diet that has way more micronutrients and is going to treat your body better as long as you're in the gym and putting in the work. And another big needle mover for me that I'm actually releasing a product for in a few weeks is pine pollen. Pine pollen is one of the craziest supplements that I ever tried. The first time I did it, I took it 3 months straight with no breaks. Definitely
Wow.
don't recommend that because any exogenous source of
Testosterone
hormones to your body is going to have your body adjust to it and reduce its regular
production.
production of hormones. So I definitely felt a tank in my libido after I hopped off that 3 month streak of pine pollen. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, pine pollen, super androgenic. The first time I took it, it literally felt like a low dose of steroids. And that's where most of the original gains came from. But yeah, that's kind of the transformation journey.
How did you get introduced into pine pollen? Why did you ever hear from it?
Uh, when I think back, I don't really remember where I first heard of pine pollen, to be honest. It might have been just me like looking through YouTube videos and like studying
Yeah.
natural androgenic substances. But I originally was taking pine pollen powder, which
Mm-hmm.
isn't the most bioavailable form in terms of phytohormones. So what we're actually developing now at Based is a pine pollen tincture. So we macerate the powder in two separate solutions: vegetable glycerin and a 95% alcohol solution, and those extract the beneficial phytohormones out from the pollen and have them all suspended in a tincture form that you could actually just dissolve under your or hold sublingually under your tongue. And all those phytohormones go straight to your bloodstream and you feel it. Like you feel it right away when you take it.
Yeah. How did you develop that formula?
So I'm partnered with a producer in Quebec, Canada. So all of the pine pollen is sourced from Canada, which is definitely huge because most of the few pine pollen tinctures that you'll see on the internet are all Chinese based. And I
Mm-hmm.
never really want to source supplements from China just because there's definitely a lot of uncertainty in like the production methods used there. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of like industrial machinery and stuff that you're not really sure of the quality or like cross contamination that could happen with the supplements from China. So we source it from Quebec, Canada, and I have a close relationship with the people there that produce the tinctures for me. Um, One of the big values of base supplements is supply chain transparency. So I'm always having hopping on calls with them, looking at the process of how they're doing the macerations and how they're producing the tinctures. So uh, yeah, that's how we produce the tinctures up in Canada.
Beautiful. So let's talk about base supplements. What's behind the company and how did it come into existence?
Yeah, so like I said before, having a Shilajit company has been in my mind literally like more than a year before I graduated college. Uh, I originally was going to call the company Sigma Supplements, but I came across a few accounts on Base TikTok that really inspired me to like pivot to the name Based. I think Base is just such a catchy name, really good name that fits with the niche of our products. It's all like hormone support, androgen boosting type products. Uh, so it's super on brand, everything. And yeah, base supplements just kind of fell into place right after I graduated college.
Hmm. Love it. What's behind scaling your brand? How do you make it better than other Shilajit companies?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing is having values as a company. Like I said before, supply chain transparency is really what sets us apart from other Shilajit companies. There's a lot of adulteration of substances within the industry, and also just a lot of just like a lack of transparency between like where these companies are actually sourcing their Shilajit. So unless you could give like an exact location of coordinates where your stuff is harvested, the type of machines that's used to purify your substance, having it manufactured in like a CGMP facility in the USA, those are all those all fall into the values of supply chain transparency for Based. So yeah, I think values is a huge thing that will set your company apart from other companies.
Love it. And why? How have you achieved authenticity as a company? You know, not only through that, but as a general supplement company. And what makes it's so unique?
Yeah, so a big thing with Based is that we have a lot of trusted people that back our brand. I'll hop
Mhm.
on calls with any of our big affiliates and really run it from A to Z, how we produce our products and why we're better than other competing companies. And as long as people trust the figures behind the brand and the
Mhm.
processes behind the brand, that's really what's going to set you apart. Also, really focusing on delivering a premium product as opposed to just selling just a baseline product. Like you'll see a lot of other Shilajit companies, they're using like stock packaging. Um, they're really not big in like building a community around their products. And that's
Yeah.
what's really most important about building a brand. It's like building not only selling products, but building a community that trusts you, trusts the company, trusts the figures behind the company, and is also going to be receptive in the future to other products that you release.
Yeah, that's the reason why I picked up my first Shilajit. It was because of the community. Like I saw everyone talking about the base supplements, and I was like, why not?
Yeah.
I gave it a try, and I've been on it for what is it, 6 days with my parents as well. Everyone's loving it. I'm planning on cycling.
Hmm.
Um,
As you should.
yeah,
Yeah. Anything.
super super unique. I love it.
Yeah, the community aspect is huge. I mean, even on Twitter, there's just so many people posting about the product all the time.
Yeah.
And like I said, as long as other people trust it, as long as other people are having good experiences with it, that's a big thing. It's like the testimonials from people saying that, yeah, they claim it's a premium product, but does it actually live up to the hype?
Mhm.
And of course, it usually does because, I mean, we definitely source the highest quality Shilajit on the market. I myself, straight out of college, spent so much money on lab testing, going through
Mhm.
different supply chains, Pakistan, like Himalaya-based supply chains, Nepal, and where we get ours now is the Altai Mountains. They always prove the best in terms of low heavy metal contamination and also highest fulvic acid percent, which is the active ingredient in Shilajit where you feel most of the benefits from.
Mhm. How did you start building the community around base supplements? How did you start fostering that community?
Yeah, so I originally launched the brand through my personal Instagram. It really wasn't meant to be anything like super, super huge off the rip. So, I mean, I started just seasoning the audience through my personal Instagram. And like I said before, I hopped on Twitter, and Twitter changed the game for everything. Once we got all of these bigger guys on board, the brand really started picking up because, again, the community started kind of fostering itself. Once people see big players taking it, they're going to start taking it themselves. People post about the product, other people want to try the product, and it really creates this snowball effect where everyone's like, hey, base supplements, like if this guy's having a good time with it, I
Yeah.
probably will have a good time with it too.
Hmm. And brother, Shilajit, why is it so good for us?
Dude, Shilajit, like I said before, when I took it the first time in college, I felt crazy benefits for it. So, fulvic and humic acids are where you're going to get the most benefits of Shilajit. Fulvic and humic acids actually help uh, your cell membrane permeability and allow your body to absorb more micronutrients from the food you eat. So, when you're
Yeah.
taking Shilajit, you're actually getting more of the micronutrient profile from your diet. It also has beneficial effects on the uh, H HP. What it's yeah, HPG axis, which is your hypothalamic pituitary gonada. I forgot exactly what it stands for, but it basically stimulates the production of luteinizing hormone and follicle
Mhm.
stimulating hormone, which are responsible for sperm production and also testosterone production. So you'll
Mhm.
see the commonly cited study on Shilajit is that 250 milligrams twice a day dosage that over 90 days increased testosterone levels by 20%,
Yeah,
which is
I've
a
seen that.
significant increase in testosterone.
Yeah.
And then the fulvic humic acid profile is really a big needle mover too, in allowing you to absorb more nutrients from your food.
What about the rest of the minerals? How is Shilajit developed?
What was the question? The rust of the minerals?
Like the rest of the minerals that
Oh,
yeah, the rest of the mineral content from Shilajit. How does Shilajit come to existence with this amount of minerals and different aspects?
Yeah, so Shilajit is a natural substance produced by the decomposition of plant matter over thousands and thousands of years. The process is called the humification process, which yields two main byproducts, which is fulvic acid and humic acid. But along the lines of that entire process over the thousands of years, it's what makes it that mineral dense substance. So Shilajit has a lot of trace minerals, but like it's regurgitated a lot through these like viral marketing companies saying that it has like 83 plus minerals that are like beneficial to your health. It's really just trace minerals, which yes will help the absorption of all of the other minerals in your diet, but it's really not a super significant source of a lot of
Is
the minerals that a lot of these other companies say it is. It's like mostly magnesium, potassium,
mhm.
calcium. Like it has a few main minerals that are actually significant in it, but the rest are just trace minerals.
What's next for based besides the pine pollen?
I mean, the big focus right now is pine pollen. We've been developing that product for like 8 months now. And
Wow.
I mean, along the values of the company, it's like we're only going to release the best quality stuff on the market. So, like I said before, we're working hand in hand with that Canadian company to really produce a high quality pine pollen tincture. Um, and then, other than the pine pollen, it's really just scaling the brand to new heights based off of what we're doing now. Quarter 4 has been crazy. I don't think a lot of people, when they look at uh, my personal Twitter, because I don't really talk about it a lot, know the actual gravity of like the growth of the ecom brand of Based. Um,
Hmm.
but we've scaled to 300K months in Quarter 4
Wow.
this year. So it's been a pretty crazy journey going from like 2K months when I was just doing it off my personal brand to
Yeah.
actually getting into the nitty gritty of ecom.
No, I can't imagine what's going to happen once you introduce pine pollen.
Yeah, it's going to be a really really good product. The crazy thing with pine pollen is that the acute effects are so noticeable. I literally just took some right before this call, and you feel it. Like
Hmm.
there's definitely an acute boost of energy, and then over time you'll actually feel the testosterone boosting benefits of it. The first time I cycled pine pollen, I swear to God, it permanently made my voice deeper. Like
Really?
permanently made my voice deeper. Like I was growing chest hair for the first time. I'm like, holy shit! Like this stuff is strong.
Yeah. How does pine pollen work? Why is it also very good for us? And the whole testosterone production thing.
Yeah, so pine pollen actually is nature's richest source of phytoandrogens. So it has bioidentical human hormones like testosterone and a bunch of other bioidentical human hormones. And it also has plant based phytoandrogens. So these are like growth factors that help the germination of new seeds to rapidly grow. So these include gibberellins, brasinosteroids, auxins, but those are all extracted as well during the maceration process. But these phytohormones actually do exhibit uh, androgenic activity when taken by humans. Also, a big benefit of pine pollen is the xenoestrogen detox. So, pine
Oh.
pollen actually contains a lot of glutathione transferases. And what glutathione transferases do is they mediate the binding between glutathione and xenobiotic substances, which is what we call like xenoestrogens a lot on Twitter. And it
Mhm.
helps excrete these from your body. So less estrogen, higher androgen profile leads to more androgenic effects. So that's like the main basis of why pine pollen gives you those androgenic effects. It's
Mhm.
the bioidentical hormones and then also the plant derived androgens.
You think I should give it a try? I've been looking for pine pollen here in Mexico City for like a long time. There's nothing available.
Yeah,
Uh,
man, I'll ship you out a sample once it's released.
do you think it's safe for me to try?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely safe for you to try. It's
Yeah.
definitely something that you should cycle. If
Hmm.
you
Of
take
course.
pine pollen like I did every day for 3 months, you will feel the down regulation when you
Yeah.
come out of it. Uh, like my libido definitely took a little bit of a hit for a month after when I hopped off.
Hmm.
But yeah, as long as you're responsibly cycling it, 5 days on, 2 days off, and then also taking a few months off at a time as well, you
Of
should
course.
be completely fine. It's not going to give you the same type of effects that say like a testosterone replacement therapy would.
What are you working on with Vance? What's going on?
I don't know if I don't
I've been
know if I'm
speculating
ready to
something
talk
for a
about that
long
yet.
time. Huh?
Um, but yeah, me and Vince are working super hard on our new company. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could spill the secrets just yet, but you'll hear a lot more about it in the upcoming weeks.
Is
Um,
it is it a new company or is it going to be based with Meraki?
it is going to be a brand new company, so we're just kind of collaborating on a third company together. But you'll see the products. We'll start hyping them up within the next few weeks.
Of course. Beautiful. So, if someone were to start a some type of health brand of some sort, some type of company, commerce brand, what advice would you give them?
I would say focus on building a brand first and not just selling products. The biggest thing with a brand is really catering to solve people's pain points and
Personal brand, you mean, or the brand of like the
like
actual?
the actual health brand itself. Like a lot of people will just find supplements on like Supplefull or any of these like drop shipping type
Yeah,
supplement companies and try to just sell products to people. But the thing is, like, the competitive landscape now is getting so hard for you to just be able to sell products because there's always going to be brands that are more trusted by the general populace
of
of
course.
the internet. So I would focus on building a brand with real values first, uh, work to solve people's pain points, and also cater to a single side of the equation. Having a brand, you always want to establish yourself as a player in the market that has an opinion, and you're always going to have enemies. You can never have a good brand without establishing yourself as a group of people with values. Like a brand has to be valued. People have to feel like they're committing to something. People have to feel like they're fighting for something. And that's why Base is doing so well, because we are strategically positioned in the market and we don't expect to cater to everyone, but we're definitely catering hard to the people that believe in the brand mission.
I love that.
So,
What? Yeah.
yeah, you could go.
No, I was gonna ask another question, but you can keep going.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely choose your mission when you first develop a brand, and that's what I would recommend people to start with. It's like you have to know what you're fighting for, and you
Mm,
have to be prepared to make enemies.
of course. What has been the biggest takeaway from your work?
Uh, the biggest takeaway from my work is that you have to enjoy the process a lot more than
Mm,
just being fixated on goals. Because I've had financial goals, I've had personal goals, and you'll reach these goals and you'll realize that the real journey was the journey to fulfilling that goal. And if you're constantly fixated on wanting to be somewhere where you're not, uh, then life kind of becomes a little bit mundane. So you really got to focus on living, focus on the journey, and definitely have goals, but don't be hyper fixated on them and want to be there and not where you currently are.
brother, what keeps you going with not only your work but with what you do in general? What keeps you going? Why do you keep doing what you do?
I mean, I just love living life. I love meeting new people. I love hanging out in Mexico with some of the best guys that I've ever met. Um, but I mean, like, talking about real North Star goals is really just giving back to my family. I definitely had a amazing childhood, and it wouldn't have been possible without the hard work of my parents. Um, they really gave me everything, gave me a lot of opportunities, and my North Star goal is to really just give back to my parents and make sure that they could live a comfortable life into retirement and pretty much 10x give them what they gave to me. That's
That's
really like what keeps me really, really going. But other than that, it's just like segmented goals, living life, meeting new people, experiencing cultures, and just having fun with it.
beautiful. Yeah. Are your parents on Shilajit?
Yeah, they are. They take it every day. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
For how
they're
long?
super supportive.
Yeah.
They take it pretty much every day, like me. I tell them to cycle off occasionally, uh,
Hmm.
but it's been super good for my dad. Like it definitely helped his hormone
Mm,
levels. It definitely helped him a lot with his health because he has a lot of acquired diseases is like high blood pressure, diabetes,
Yeah.
celiac disease. So I try to help my dad as best I can with the knowledge that I'm picking up from health Twitter. Um, but yeah, my parents are taking Shilajit every day. They love it.
Love it. Dude, there's this quote that really caught my attention that you shared through Twitter, which was a harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very, very dangerous man who has it under control. Why did you share that?
Yeah, so I mean that I think that ties in a lot to being a valued person. Uh, Being a harmless man really just means that you're letting the world happen to you, and you're not pioneering the way to where you see
I see.
you want things to go. Uh, and being a very very dangerous man, but knowing exactly what you want to achieve in the world and how you want to lead your army, for lack of a better way to put it, to success, is really the way to be. Because if you are just like a completely harmless person and letting everything happen to you, then you can't really be a leader. You can't be a thought leader. You can't be a leader for anything. um, so yeah, you definitely have to be capable, but you have to be able to learn how to use that power to allow things to grow, to use it to your advantage. Uh,
How do you think we become the latter?
High testosterone, high DHT. No, but
That's
actually,
crazy.
having good values, definitely focus on what you actually want to get out of life, what you desire for your future, and let those goals kind of lead you through the path to success.
Beautiful. Brother, what about your like health protocol or foundation? How does do you want to maybe share something on your like nutrition or sleep or gym routine?
Yeah, so workouts lately, I've been doing like 3 to 4 days a week, super high intensity, uh, but like shorter workouts, like an hour and a half at most. Uh, and I've come to find that higher intensity workouts, 3 to 4 times a week, definitely trump working out every day, half-assed.
Hmm.
So that's like my workout protocol. Diet, a lot of red meat, getting a lot of cholesterol in. Um, we're in Mexico right now, so getting a lot of ceviche in, that taurine,
Yeah.
um, zinc from oysters, magnesium, swimming in the ocean. I also supplement with magnesium. I take glycinate pretty much every day. Uh, Shit, it's pouring.
Yeah, it happens a lot over there.
Yeah, it's like on and off. It's sunny,
Yeah,
it's rainy, sunny, rainy. Uh,
crazy.
But yeah, sleep protocol. I definitely try to get like 8 9 hours of sleep in a night. That's definitely one of the biggest needle movers for uh, hormonal health. If you're not getting enough sleep, if your body is under a constant state of stress, you're definitely not going to have your hormones as optimized as someone who's getting their 8 to 9 hours of real deep sleep. Um, and yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily take a lot of supplements right now. I'm just cycling pine pollen, taking my daily Shilajit, um, taking magnesium every day, and then really just getting like sunlight, ocean swims, grounding, uh, that more holistic lifestyle. I don't really believe in megadosing a lot of supplements to try to reach your goals. Uh,
Hmm.
so really just like living as holistic as possible, and yeah, just enjoying it. Living low stress by choosing to be low stress
Love it.
is the biggest thing.
Sunbathing at all?
You say sunbathing
Yeah.
every day, man. Like I
Yeah.
got to Mexico probably like 5 days ago. I'm probably 10 shades darker already. Uh,
Yeah.
Northeast is a little brutal at this time of year, but I've been really enjoying the sun.
Love it. Eric, what brings you most joy in life?
What brings me the most joy in life? Uh, Experiencing new things, new experiences. That was my biggest goal for when I actually started making money, is to just live a little bit more stress free,
Hmm.
experience everything that different cultures have to offer, uh, traveling the world, really having a good time and enjoying the journey more than being fixated again on long term goals.
Hmm. Love it. And for my last question, man, what advice would you give to me or to the listeners of this podcast? General advice about anything.
General advice is to just work hard. Uh, Definitely focus on developing skills that make it so you're a useful person to other people. Uh, and yeah, just like following your calling and what you want to do, and really just enjoying the ride. Like life shouldn't be stressful. Life should be fun. You should enjoy what you're doing, uh, and yeah, just enjoying it.
You've been talking a lot about stress right now through the podcast. Why, why is it that you focus so much on a stress-free life?
Because when I was at where I didn't want to be in college, I was super stressed. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and it really haunted me. Like being in that high stress state, it really isn't good for anything. It causes you a lot of sadness. It could even lead to depression and a lot of anxiety in some cases. Um, but yeah, like that's why I travel. That's why I work from new places. It's like I want to relax. I want to experience the world while also working hard. Um, and I think that's what helps me keep my stress levels down. It's just like not worrying about things, which is the biggest thing. It is pouring right now.
Yeah, I was about to say it's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, Eric, I really appreciate your time, man. It was quick, but it was a really good interview. Thank you, man.
yeah. I really appreciate it, man.